Hello and welcome. This episode features an Alfa Romeo 4C Spyder 2016. If you're watching my review about the 4C, chances are you've already been watching other reviews from other channels on YouTube. In here, I will try and give you a whole new perspective of the Alfa 4C that you'll most probably won't find anywhere else. Therefore, you most probably already know that this car is made primarily of aluminium, carbon fiber, and fiberglass. All in all, they avoided steel in order to save maximum weight for a total of 1,128 kilograms. Keep in mind, in Europe, because they aren't so strict about safety measures and stuff, there is less safety component which brings down the weight to 940 kilograms. Then you also most probably already know that the car has only one cargo space. The front one is sealed shut, which means the only one left for your luggage is in the back. This red bag sums up how much space you're really dealing with. Also, you most probably already know that the interior of this car isn't comfortable. The seats aren't adjustable in many ways. They aren't even designed for comfort. That's not a problem since most people won't fit inside the cabin anyway. A little bit like in the Lotus Elise, if you recall. By the way, the Lotus Elise has evolved into the Lotus Evora, which is finally less of a go-kart and more of a real car, featuring two rear seats, a bigger cargo capacity, more comfortable seats. It's still a hardcore driving machine, but now you're supposed to be able to drive it for a longer time span without you falling into pieces. Now back to the 4C. Inside there is no glove box, no utility storage facility, except for the little pocket right in between the seats. The USB and auxiliary connection for the radio are simply hanging out from the center console randomly in front of the passenger seat. This should sum up the everyday daily living in this car. You most probably already know that the engine in this car is a small 1.7 4-cylinder turbocharged machine making about 237 horse, available right around 6,000 rpm, and 258 torque, available much earlier around 2200 rpm. As you may know, the engine is right behind the seats in the middle of the car, exactly like a Porsche Boxster. The transmission available is a dual clutch 6-speed. It's the only one, no manual whatsoever. The drivetrain is obviously rear-wheel drive. You should also know that there is no muffler on the exhaust, which makes it louder. Steering is made of mechanical components only, which makes it perfect on paper. The gas tank can fill up to 40 liters at once, and since the car needs 8.5 liters every 100 kilo, the average distance you'll be able to drive before filling up again is about 470 kilos. Alright, so now we are done with the specs and numbers. So let's move on and discuss this car. This is not a car actually, it's a go-kart with a body kit wide enough to make it look like a car. If you don't agree yet, think about it. There is simply no trunk at the front, exactly like a go-kart. There is no room in the cabin, like a go-kart. It sounds loud, like a go-kart, and fun to drive, very much a lot like a go-kart. Handles, steers, accelerate, kind of the same as you would expect from a go-kart. All in all, I believe it's a track car. Very popular and a lot of choices actually available on the market. There is the Caterham, for instance. The most expensive one is called Caterham CSR. Cost around 46,500 euros. Provide 2 seats, no luggage room, a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder Ford engine, and a 6-speed standard gearbox. Check it out. There is also one from KTM which is called X-Bow. The most extreme version is called R, featuring a 2-liter 4-cylinder Audi engine from the S3, producing 300 horse. The car weighs about 800 kilo, and the starting price in USA is about 88,000 US dollars. I agree, those are unconventional go-kart style for the road vehicles, but when you start looking at those cars, you also start understanding the 4C a little bit better. Except that when you try to compare the 4C with supercars, it just doesn't add up. It's not a cheap, affordable supercar, at least not on the same level as the Audi R8 and Porsche 911 GT3. To understand what the 4C is, you must look at the Mazda Miata MX-5, wherever you want to call it. So, the Miata is an affordable sports car, fun to drive, convertible, and everyday enjoyment, especially in summer. The starting price for the Miata is about 30 grand. So, for a Miata owner, buying an Alfa 4C Spyder is like buying a Ferrari when you're used to driving a Porsche 911 all the time. You become always scared parking your car, afraid that people might scratch it. It becomes your little jewelry. You don't want to break it, so you store it and simply look at it. So, in that perspective, from a Miata owner, yes, the 4C is a supercar. But for a track car enthusiast, it's a go-kart with flying wings. For a Porsche Boxster enthusiast, it's rubbish. For a Ferrari enthusiast, it's a Mazda Miata, and for me, I'll take my chances with the Lotus Evora. I'll thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Whether you're looking to buy or to be entertained by nice car footage, be sure to subscribe and scroll through my channel, there's much more stuff about cars. Take care and goodbye.